my servant is ill, and the Lord said in verse 7, I will come and heal him. And the centurion answered and said, Lord, I'm not worthy that you should even come under my roof. Let me just pause here for a moment and share this. The reason that so many Christians don't get healed is because they think they're worthy. God owes me. I've been faithful. I have a covenant with God. I want to tell you, and I'll show you before we're done tonight, the greatest environment for divine healing is true humility. Is that heart that comes and understanding all of the doctrine we do, knowing the promises of God as we do. Says, Lord, I know, I have head knowledge. I even understand it in my heart, the finished work of redemption. But who am I? And what is my house, David said, that I should have such a blessing? Do we approach God that way? Or do we come and tell God, I've got rights. Here it is, chapter and verse, heal me. You'll see as we go on in Mark chapter 9, and we'll look at it in detail, when these boys were lacking faith, and the question was being asked, why is it that we couldn't cast this devil out? And we understand that the Lord said because of the unbelief, and He said, and this kind comes not out but by prayer and fasting. And He was talking, as we shared last session, about this kind of unbelief. But the irony is this. You read down a couple of verses, and right after the multitudes were mocking them, we brought you this guy and you couldn't heal him. What's going on? And Jesus comes in and heals him and delivers him. The word was being mocked just prior to that. And you read down a few verses and they're arguing who's the greatest among them. And just listen, Jesus just rebuked them for their unbelief, and their next conversation is who's the greatest. Sound like anybody you know? Now, we don't argue among ourselves who's the most spiritual here, do we? Well, it may have happened a few times, but it's not something that happens a lot. See, we're too knowledgeable to let our carnality be observed.